Court is in session in three cases. First case is cause number 327-540. Second case is cause number 327-622. And the third case is cause number 327-624. All three cases are styled the state of Texas versus Cody Lee Garrett. We have Mr. Garrett appearing via Zoom. Mr. Garrett, you're gonna have to take your mic off of mute. It's still on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're over here.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay, Mr. Garrett, is your full name Cody Lee Garrett?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Oh, shit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Garrett, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Garrett, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Garrett, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Garrett?
All right. How about yourself?
Well, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Garrett, I have before me in cause number 327-622 an information that alleges that, before I ask you that, now, Mr. West, do you waive a record in Mr. Garrett's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now, Mr. Garrett, in cause number 327-622, I have before me an information that alleges that on or about June 16 of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon. Mr. Garrett, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Garrett, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, Mr. Garrett, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Mr. Garrett, are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Garrett, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. On page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials CG that are on a line, which is next to a box that's checked guilty. Mr. Garrett, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, at the bottom of this document, above the line that is titled Defendant, there's also a signature. And did you also sign this document?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are two boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Garrett, did you sign a document out there on?
Say it again.
Okay, yeah, there was some background noise. Now, Mr. Garrett, did you sign a document out there on paper that is titled Discovery Certification?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Garrett, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. West, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Garrett, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer States 1?
I do, Your Honor. State offer States 1.
Any objections, Mr. West?
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Okay, no objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. West, you've advised and counseled Mr. Garrett. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Garrett, your attorney, Mr. West, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
What you mean, the offer you gave me?
No. Are you satisfied with him representing you?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I mean, yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Garrett, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of guilty in this case, Your Honor, the state's recommending confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 60 days. We are also, as part of this plea bargain agreement, agreeing to dismiss the companion cases of a possession of a controlled substance appearing in 327540 and a failed to ID case appearing in cause number 327624.
Mr. Garrett, the
Sir.
state is offering that you serve 60 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for any time that you are entitled to get by law. The court cost in this case is $327. Mr. Garrett, will you be able to pay the $327?
No, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Garrett, do you have any source of income?
Probably have like close to $1,000 in my bank account from income tax. Other than that, none.
Okay, so, but you don't, what my question was, do you have any like sources? You don't have any job or income that you're making any money on?
No, sir. But
Okay.
lawn cutting service, car washing, stuff I do on the side.
Okay.
Other than that, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing on paper.
Okay. Nah, you're not getting any type of, what is it called? Governmental benefits?
No, sir.
Okay, now expenses. Do you have any expenses? Like, do you either own a home?
I don't know.
Do you have to pay rent?
No.
Are you living with family members?
I live with a girlfriend.
Okay, and now what about expenses such as, well, do you have any children?
No, sir.
Okay, now what about, so you don't have to pay rent, is that correct?
Correct.
And you, what about food? Do you have to pay? Well, let me ask you this. Are you in jail on any other type of offense besides these misdemeanors?
No, I had to sit tickets out. I completed
Okay.
that already.
Okay. So
I'm trying to get my life back on track, get everything squared away.
understand. Now, in reference to what about your food expenses? How much do you have to pay that per month if you have to?
Like $150.
So you only eat $150 food a month?
Right, on my end. My girlfriend provide the other end.
So somebody else is assisting, so it's about 150. Okay.
Right.
Now, what about, do you own a vehicle?
Not at the time. But
Okay.
not at the moment. I had to sell it. I had one before, but I had to sell it, make commissary, stuff like that.
Okay. Now, what about transportation costs? You have to pay for transportation from anybody, like for them to ride you around, or you have to pick an Uber or anything?
I commute on the bus.
Okay, and if you had to guess, how much are you spending a month to commute?
I would say close to $25, $30.
A month? Okay. Now, what about, let's see. You have any cell phones or anything?
Not anymore.
Okay, you got rid of all of that? Okay.
I was up paying booking, but I ain't able to pay for it now.
Okay, are you on any type of probation? You have to pay any type of probation fees or parole?
I was on probation a long time ago. Now I was 17. I completed that.
Okay. Okay, what about, you haven't paying any medical bills or anything?
No, ma'am. No, sir.
Okay, okay. So based on what you're saying, the court is gonna find that you're indigent. And based on that finding of indigence, the court cost in this case is going to be waived, which
Thank
means you would not be required to pay it.
Thank you.
But now, the state is also dismissing, as part of this plea bargain, 327-540 and clause number 327-624 as part of this plea bargain. So, Mr. Garrett, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
I would want to ask, do they do 2-for-1s?
Well, that's up to the you got to check with the jail handles that portion. We don't.
Okay. But other than that, yeah, I'm satisfied.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
now, Mr. Garrett, the court is going to follow the plea bargain recommendation, well, the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. This will conclude your cases. Follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day.
All right, you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes. And Mr. West, this is should be your last case.
Yes and no, Your Honor. I got some go through these on Gerard. I'm going to be filing a competency on him. I don't think he's competent to resolve his case. And
Okay.
on Payne, we're going to request the court to set an MTRP hearing. I think we need to have a hearing on this one. And then, yeah, that's it, I think.
Okay. All right, Mr. West, this will conclude your case. You're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a safe trip.
Thanks.
All right, you have a blessed day. And Mr. Coleman, this will conclude your cases as well. You're free to go. You have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Ms. Williams?
Yes, sir.
That's our last case. All the other cases have been reset. Yeah, you're free to go and you have a blessed day as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this will conclude the calling of special review docket in County Court at Law Number 2, County, Texas.
Your Honor, hold on a second. I think we have somebody, I forgot, somebody need to talk to you. Which one?